Sanghai, currently studying in third year of Department of Mechanical Engineering at MIT Pune. And I had joined Cosmos in my first year when it had started just 1 year ago. So there were a lot of opportunities that were available. We were able to make our own telescope, then we made our own radio telescope, and now we are even going to make our own ground station. At the college itself. So we have an amazing team of seniors to guide us. For example, Richel Didi here, Ninad Bhaiya here, and they are themselves working at LIGO India. LIGO, which is a 1400 crore project set up by Caltech as well as National Science Foundation here in Maharashtra itself. So it's a very big opportunity for all those who want to study physics as well as engineering. It's a mixture of both. So you can contact them as well if you want to join such projects. So that's my introduction. What I am going to now explain is that how I got working on these project, the Kritika binary stars project, and how you can also participate in such open source projects which are available on internet. So you can not only learn about astronomy and astrophysics, but also side by side you will be able to learn a lot more about Python. Then there's animations, how to make animations, and there are so many intersecting fields that many a times we feel that, oh, I like coding, but I also have a passion for astronomy. So what to do? So such projects are at the heart of collaboration, where you will not only require your coding, your imagination, as well as astronomy. So this was such a project where I had to do everything that was available to me. So let's start by first let me show you what were the projects available. So Kritika Club is an astronomy club just like ours, Cosmos. So this is IIT Bombay's astronomy club, and they many a times they have winter as well as summer projects that other students can participate in. So due to COVID, they had their summer projects online this year. So what they did was we had a choice of around 7 to 8 projects. These are just the guideline, we can skip them. So first was the animations project, in which the basic objectives were to learn the basics of animation, any one tool. So they taught us Blender, which is free to download. It's an open source software. So the animations group use the Blender tool to generate awesome animations. I'll be showing you one of the animations on binary stars that they have made. It's an excellent animation made by my colleague Soumyadeep Bhattacharjee. He's an undergrad at Indian Institute of Science in Physics department. So I'll be showing you that at the end. So like I said, animations had intersection of animation as well as astronomy as well as coding, because they used Python to code in Blender, and then they were able to make animations, and soon they will be publishing all these animations on their YouTube channel. So I'll be posting that link as well if you are interested. Second was hopping. uh, I'll also share these documents if you want. These are all open source. What they have done is they have posted their work on GitHub. So anyone who wants to learn from these projects can directly go to GitHub, read the reports that we have made, and you can completely start from the basic that we have started, and learn everything from scratch. So that was our objective, that anyone who is not from an astronomy background should be able to read the report and understand everything from the basics. So I'll be showing you our binary stars report as well. So this was my project, binaries. In this, as you can see, we had to understand what are actually binary star systems. So most of the stars that you see in the sky, around 2/3 of them are in pairs. So they exist. Two stars are rotating around each other. So sun is a rare case where you have a star in the middle and then other planets going around them. Usually it is a star going around a star and then going around another star. There are multiple complex systems as well. So we decided to study these stars because there is a lot you learn from binary stars. So we studied binary stars to simulate their light curves, which is basically how the light we can see the light from Earth when they go around each other. And then there was fitting of actual light curves using templates developed, blah blah blah. You can read that. If you read it, just it will be pretty boring. So I'll be explaining it to you in short. So and this was the orbits project, and then there was analemma. So I chose the binary star project because it felt much more appealing to me. Second choice was animations, but then again it was to be honest quite difficult because I'm not that good at Python, so I chose to do binary stars. So let me show you our presentation. So this is what we did. Uh, this is our final presentation that we gave on the last to around all the members of club, around 150 people that we had to present our work. So uh, our mentor was Vedant Shenoy. He's a fourth year student at IIT Bombay, and he's quite good at everything that he in all the projects. So he was able to help me a lot. So the benefits of doing these project is that you get to learn a lot from your seniors as well as your colleagues. So as I said, even the juniors in my group were able to teach me a lot of things like Python. I did not know a lot of Python, but here Soumyadeep and then Soham and Ananya were able to teach me a lot. So let me just show you. So this is the modeling of binary stars, as I said. So all these graphs that you see here, this is actual data plotted using data available from uh, NASA telescopes. So this is actual data that we have used. And it was pretty amazing to get results that are actually given in textbooks. So in textbooks, if you see, there is you just see these graphs in textbooks, and then you are like, oh, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? So what we did was, when you actually understand the mathematics and physics behind this, you are able to plot this very well, and you are able to understand the underlying mathematics behind it. So we were able to simulate line of sight velocities for binary stars, and I'll just mail this. I'll just send this PPT on the Telegram group that we have recently made, so everyone can go through it if you want. All this is also available in the report, how we plotted it, what data we used, how to get the data from NASA website, and how, if you even don't know Python at all, you can start from the basics and then go from there, and then go at a depth where we have reached. So it's not that difficult if you just put in about around 30 to 40 hours per week, which is completely possible during this COVID period. I think you should be able to reach where we have left, because we were able to do this in around 2 months, and the juniors that started with me also did not know Python at all. So if you already know Python, you already have an edge over others. So and it's not even that difficult. So this is what we did. This was a radial velocity curves. Then there are various types of binaries, like spectroscopic ones, like eclipse ones, and they have different light curves, as you can see. So these ones were plotted as well, and then you can use this to find out the mass and temperature of stars. So this is what I have done. So this is very interesting. I think everyone will like this, because this has nothing to do with boring coding or mathematics, or it's an observational, what we say, an observational project that I did. So we had pretty much 100% freedom in what we wanted to do in the project. We were told in the first week itself that start researching on binary stars as to what you want to do, so you can do whatever you want to achieve. And even, in fact, I think one of my group member was even able to publish an article on what he did. So that's pretty amazing. So what I did was, I did my project in radio as well as optical field. So in radio field, what I did was, there are two open source telescopes that are available in Sweden's Onsala Space Observatory, which you can use. So I use these to observe Alcor Mizar, which is a binary system. So this is the spectrum that I've got on the right. So explanation of all this is available on the report, which again I will be sending on the Telegram group. It's just around 10 to 12 pages long, so you will be able to understand it from the base as to what I have done. And and if you have an inspiration from it, you can use these open source telescopes to make your own new observations, and you can even contribute to our project. You can just mail me, and I can ask to add your work in this project. So using these two telescopes, I observed Alcor Mizar, which are visible on the bottom right. These are this is, smaller one is the Alcor, and bigger one is Mizar. So so these dishes are not that big, so they are not able to resolve the two stars very well. But my objective was to show that using big telescopes such as GMRT, or the new Swan array that we have now, which will be put up by IUCAA in the next year or so, you will be, and they are going to allow students to use it from their homes. So what you can do is, you can make observations of stars by yourselves, and you can find out mass, temperature of stars, mass of stars, even the distance between them, just by sitting at your home. I mean, it's phenomenal what you can do thanks to IUCAA and NCRA, that we will be able to, students will have such an advantage, because even thanks to Onsala Space Observatory, that they have set up this internet operated telescopes, that I was able to sit at home and do these experiments. So this is a very good opportunity that you will be having. So using radio, you can find out the temperature of stars, because every star has its own spectrum, as you can see. So the left one was from the smaller star, and the right one was from the bigger star. So you can use that to find out the temperature of the stars, and temperature again can be used to find the mass of stars as well, because there is a temperature mass relationship. And second one, I think you will find even more interesting, is that there is a website called Telescope Live. You do not need to have your own telescope. This is a free to use 70 centimeter telescope situated in Spain, which you can use to photograph whatever object you want. And it's a pretty easy website to use. They even have instructions very clearly written on their website. So I use that to photograph Alcor Mizar, which you can see on the right. This is the photo that I got, and then you can use very simple photometry techniques. There are softwares available that you can use to find out the temperature as well as mass of stars again. Even if the telescope is well calibrated, you can even find out the distance between them. So it's really mind-boggling to see how you can use just one photograph of a star and find out so many parameters about them. So this is what I did, and all of this is available on the report. And this is the visualization part of our project, where we were able to simulate the binary stars on using Blender. So Soumyadeep from my group has done this animation, which I will show. The animation was made in Blender. Again, I'll let you know that Blender is a free software and many tutorials are available on YouTube if you want to learn it. It's not too difficult, but it's very interesting if you are able to learn that. So let me show you the animation. It's really interesting. So this is the animation. So there are two stars that are going around each other. These are the binary stars. So what happens is, as time goes by, higher mass star becomes a giant, and then uh, it gets eaten up by the second star. This this leaves only the primary helium core of the star that got eaten, and then the period of rotation decreases by a lot. Then there's an unstable mass transfer, and both the stars will combine to form a common envelope. And now these are the two neutron stars that are formed, and then their helium cores evolve and they form contact binary. Contact binary means the two binaries start touching each other, and they form a one binary star. This is the supernova, type 1c supernova, because of bursting of both the stars. The strong gravitational waves that are produced, and this is the final kilonova that we observe due to the uh, both the binary stars colliding. So this was our complete project. This took us around 2 to 3 months, and it was pretty interesting. So let me show you their tutorials that we have. So this is the tutorials that are available on their website. This is the Kritika GitHub repository. So as you can see, they have the tutorials from the starting. There's introduction to Python. So from the very base, they have the tutorials. So even I did not know Python when I started this project. As I told you, I had to get selected for this project. I had to submit a derivation for finding the stellar masses of binary objects. So this was the derivation that I have done. It's pretty easy. If you want, I'll put this up on Telegram as well. What I just did was use the third law, Kepler's third law, to find out both the masses of binary stars. I will not bore you with the calculations. but it's just 2 pages long. I'll put it up on Telegram if anyone wants to read. It's the most basic thing if you want to learn binary. What are binary stars? There is a clear relation between the distances between both the stars equal to m1 upon m2, which is the mass of star 1 upon star 2, and the radial velocity of second star upon first star. So it's pretty mind-boggling to see that the distance between the stars is related to their mass, which is again related to their velocities. So even if you know just two quantities, you are able to find out all other quantities. And then they had given us some data in an Excel sheet, and which was actually velocity data. So what we had to do was use this velocity data to find out the mass. So the derivation that I did here, just I had to make it in a code form to find out the masses. So this is what I did. This is the code I wrote, and this is the graph I got. So this matched with the final result, and that is why I was selected. So I'll just explain it in short. So the light blue line that you see here, so this is the actual velocity curve that we got from the data given by Kritika Club. So from this velocity data, I had to find out mass. So from this derivation, I knew that the peak velocity can be used to find out the masses from the relation I just told. A2 by A1 is equal to V2 by V1 upon M1 by M2. So I just fitted a sine curve using NumPy array, and then I was able to find out the masses, which you can see here. It directly gives the masses of stars. This was a pretty easy code. Later on, as we went in the project, the codes became more and more difficult. But that's where I got to learn, because before this I had no motivation to learn Python. As soon as there was this project and I had to submit this to get selected, I went through their repository. So this is the repository that they have. Again, I will explain it to you. They have around how many? Around 11 tutorials, I think. 14 tutorials. So all of them are in a Jupyter notebook. All you have to do is just download Anaconda. If you have any problem with getting the tutorials or understanding the tutorials, please send a message on Telegram group. I'll also send Kritika Club's Telegram group link, where directly the people who made this repository will be able to answer your questions. Let me just explain you in short that there is also another such tutorials that are available. So this is Caltech's growth observatory, which is global relay of observatories watching transients happen. So this is a Caltech and IIT Bombay collaboration that they have, and every year they have a school, astronomy school. This year they held it online as well. Unfortunately, I was not selected for this, but the good thing is that all the lectures are available on their website. They have put it up on YouTube, as well as the Jupyter notebooks that they have used for their lectures. So you can just watch the lecture and then go to the Jupyter notebook and solve all the questions yourself. So this also has the tutorials, all of the tutorials, and you have to solve the questions as well. So if you see here, there must be a question which you will need to solve. See, so here you will have to write your own code, and if you just run it here itself, you can run it. You don't need anything else. You just need Anaconda and Jupyter notebook, and you will be good to go. So this is a really interesting website, and you will be able to learn a lot. These are the experiments that are done by usually masters or even PhD students, because when I saw the list of selected students, around 80% of them were from Harvard, Caltech, and MIT. So maybe MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, not our MIT. And most of them were masters or PhD students. So their focus was on master's students. Probably that's why they did not select me. But the good thing is that even if you don't get selected, there is really no drawback. Even if you have any doubt, you can directly email your doubts to growth.astro.school@gmail.com, and they answer your queries very quickly. So this is all that I have to show you that there are many opportunities available. In fact, if you go to Ayuka's website, uh, Ayuka's website has a special student section where you can continuously see any opportunities that are available. For example, now they will have their radio astronomy winter school. It might not take place due to COVID situation, but every year they take it up in October. So see, you can see this here. They have vacation students program, which is especially for third year students. So luckily, if the COVID situation improves, I will be able to apply for this. Then they have introductory school in astronomy and astrophysics, which I was selected for this year, and they took this completely online, and all lectures are again available on YouTube. So you do not need anything else other than a good internet connection and a PC or a laptop to study astronomy. And then again, there are students for school students as well. And then you can give these exams if you want to do a PhD at Ayuka. So there are many opportunities that come up. So please join our Telegram group where we'll keep posting these opportunities. And then I'll also send the link for Kritika's Telegram group, which has over 2,500 members. And somewhere around in some college in any part of India, there is something going on related to astronomy, and there are always webinars and always some competitions or always some workshops that are going on free of cost, where they will teach you, mentor you, and you will be able to get a lot from these projects. Just the one of the benefits is that it goes on your resume, but a better objective is that you get to learn what you do not get to learn in college. So this was a pretty good experience that I got. And so let me just quickly show you the report I was talking about. So this was my report. This was our binary stars report, in which we have explained everything from the basics. If you can see here, so everything we have explained here from the basics. There is an introduction, how this report is supposed to help you understand binary star systems. So if you don't know anything about binary stars, after reading just about 80 to 90 pages of these report, I won't say you will become a master in understanding binary stars, but you will have a pretty good understanding of what they are. And in fact, you can even get inspired as to what you want to do next in this project. Or if you have any idea, you can contact any one of us and we can work with you to add something in this report. So that was what our objective was, that anyone who is not introduced to binary stars should understand the subject in its depth, and that is what actually research is. So just quickly showing you my part in the report. So this was my part, Alcor Mizar case study. So as you can see, I have given everything from their basics. What is actually Alcor Mizar, how it is, where it is in the sky, and what are its properties, what is the mass both the stars have, what telescope I have used, what is the website that I use, how to use the telescope, then what was my objective, important parameters to be considered while reading this experiment, what is the method of doing this experiment. So after reading this report, you will have no doubt what to do, but you can completely replicate this project and even make something on your own, which you might even publish later. So it will be a pretty good scientific research on your part, and we are very happy to add this in our report if you are able to do it. So this is the fitting that I did. Then what formulas I have used to calculate the temperature, what is the deviation that I got from the temperature, what is the derivation behind it, where did I get this derivation from. This was a pretty good research experience that I got, which usually engineering students do not have. I got to learn a lot what photometry tools I have used, then which telescope I used to capture this telescope, how to use that website. Everything is given in this website. In this report, sorry. Just ping me up. I'll send this PDF on our Telegram group, and I think you will have no doubts. This is an unfinished report, by the way. We still have to make a few adjustments because there have to be a lot of references. We cannot miss out on the references that we give, because then it will be unfair to the credit of the work that we have used from other scientists. So as you can see, there are a lot of references if you want to learn more. Let me show you the references. So how to replicate this work, we have given everything, whatever you want to learn about binary stars, and as much as we know is given in this report. So this is a very exhaustive list of references, if you will see, and these were the papers that we used for our references. So that's all from my side, I think. If you have any doubts, Ashish will be Ashish, can you please okay, the Telegram link is already given in the chat box, guys. You can join this group, and we will be sending all the material there, and if you have any doubts, please put them up on the Telegram group. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank Anaga ma'am for always being there by our side, always helping our club, because ma'am was the one who helped us start this group. And also Ankit Bhaiya, Richal Didi, and Ninad Bhaiya, and as well as Ashish, who has always helped me with all the basic doubts that I have. So if you have these doubts as well, our seniors are very well happy to guide you. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, anyone has any doubt? Please ask. So good work, Rohan. So by that time, others are thinking, let me ask you certain questions that have come to my mind. Okay. So it's really pretty interesting to know that by sitting at home you could do so much of work, and you could get to learn so much, not only technically but scientifically, and so much in things you learned during this period. And it's good that you shared it with others. Okay. So I have a question regarding this animation that you showed about binary stars. So there,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, as far as I understand, you showed different systems where the uh, mass of the stars is varied, and accordingly their dynamics changes, right? Is that what is shown in the animation, right?
Yeah,
You
ma'am.
said.
Actually, it was Soumyadeep's animation, and it was a long video. And for our presentation, he has only shown the binary star part. So if you want the link to the complete animation, I'll again put it up on Telegram. So he has just given parts of the animation, but yes, you are right. It shows the dynamic motion of binary stars, what actually happens, and he has used all correct astrophysics behind. Everything is governed by actual equations using Python code, so there is nothing that we have assumed there.
Okay, okay. So assumptions are not used here. But
No.
then, okay. But then for the such kind of dynamics to simulate, it's really a very computationally heavy task, right? So
Yes. The thing is with Blender, Blender gives you two options. One is very computationally heavy, where the graphics will be very accurate. For example, it is able to simulate the light very well, but then it will be computationally very heavy. For example, the animation of black hole that I have made was only about 15 seconds long, but it took my computer, which is a pretty good one, that it's a gaming laptop, so it is designed to be graphically heavy, but it still took me around 5 to 6 hours just to simulate the 15-second clip. What we did was, Soumyadeep's laptop was actually even older than mine. So there is second option in Blender that you can use the second engine of Blender, which is not very graphically heavy. So if you see, the quality of animation is not very high. So what we did was, we then submitted that code to IIT Bombay, and IIT Bombay has their own supercomputer. So what they do is then use the second, means better quality engine of Blender to simulate it at their supercomputer, and then they are able to return the animation. So this is the advantage that we have. We just have to write the code, simulate it in a lower graphic environment, and then you can submit it to, if you have contacts at IISc or IIT Bombay, and then they have their supercomputers which can give you high input animations, high output animations.
okay, okay, good. All right. Anyone else has any question? Then go ahead and ask.
Ma'am, I have a question. Rachel here.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah. So, Rohan, you said that you have done studies on binary stars. So, exactly what was the motivation of behind selecting the Algol-Mizar system, and why not some other binary stars? Or was it something that you just randomly picked up and started doing the study?
Okay, okay, that's a good question. So, my objective of choosing binary stars was because, first of all, the questions that I solved for getting into this project was based on binary stars. So, while I was solving these questions, already had done quite a lot of research on what they are and how the mathematics behind it. So I thought, for choosing this project, I will be able to learn further in this project. But I also had deep interest in animation part, so I wanted to choose animations, and then I thought that I had filled in the choices for animations, and sadly then I remembered that no, I have put in this binary stars. So I spoke to my mentor. So he said, no problem, if you want to shift to animations you can, but what you can do is you can combine both and you can make a binary star animation. So yeah, so this is the freedom that we have, that I got to study binary stars, and I was able to animate it as well. So I helped Soumyadeep a little bit. This way I was able to learn a little bit of Blender, Python as well, and then binaries, the mathematics and the astrophysics behind binary stars. So it was a pretty interesting project, and that is how. Yeah, regarding Alcor Mizar, so I wanted a system which will be very clearly visible on the telescope, optical as well as radio telescope. So Alcor Mizar is one of the brightest binary systems that we have. So that is why I decided to choose Alcor Mizar system, because it is pretty bright, and the optical telescopes can photograph it very well. So, but that later became a problem because they were so bright that the telescope image came out to be saturated. Then I had to unsaturate it and then find out the masses and temperature. So still, I think there is. But the majority of stars that you see in the sky are binary stars. So, and in fact, there is a website called AAVSO, American something of variable stars. So they study only variable stars and binary stars. So that is a pretty interesting website where you will get list of all the binary stars that you want, and in fact they even plot the light curves by taking a photo of the star every day. I mean every night. So that is a pretty interesting website that you can go through, and which I have referred in the project as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Is there anyone else from the group who want to ask a question? So if you have any question, or if you later if you get this question later sometime, you can always contact Rohan. We have shared our Telegram link over there, and club members can always contact him personally or get in touch with him, so he can also put you in contact with the Kritika club, and you can also do such projects just by sitting at home. We have so many other interesting projects done by other team members, which we would like to share with you or present to you in the upcoming weeks. So we will weekly have a presentation just like Rohan has given. So next week we will again have a presentation, and we'll post the details about the presentation soon on the website. So we have a website for Cosmos Club. We have a WhatsApp group and a Telegram group, as well as an Instagram page. So do follow these pages to have an update. As soon as this lockdown is uh, lockdown is done and we get back to our campus, we will have some hands-on activities as well. But in between these lockdown period, we can also have so many projects that can be done from home. And Ankit Sharma, who will be, I think, the next presenter in this series, has also done a project just by sitting at home, using his own ground station made by him. So yeah, be in touch, and let us know if you have any feedback for us or any suggestions. Please let us know. uh, yeah, thank you so much. Anagha ma'am, do you have anything to say or add to these things?
No, it's just that it's a good initiative that you people have started, and with such kind of series of talks, not only other students, but I'm also getting to know what you're doing, and that way it's going to help others to know it, and for the other students to know the opportunities that are available, those who have interest in this field. So it's good to have this kind of lecture series, and I'm really glad that you people took initiative and started it. And I hope we record these lectures so that we can have a kind of collection of such videos where it will help other students to learn and know things. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so there's one more thing. So if you guys have any of your friends interested in astronomy, you can always ask them to join a Cosmos Club in our college in MIT. Uh, so just to give a gist of it, of the interested projects that are going to be presented in the upcoming weeks, I'll just like to give you some short descriptions. As in, we have a ground station done by Ankit Sharma. We have an optical telescope led by Ashish Vanjani. He will be explaining you about the optical telescope that he and the Cosmos Club actually has done in Ayuka. Uh, then I will also like to present the project that I did at Mount Wilson Observatory. And yeah, so there are many more few projects that we've done. This was just a short description or only a few names mentioned, but there are many people involved in many things. So stay updated and be safe. Thank you.